There's a revolution happening. You can feel it just as I can. People breaking out of the American box. We've stopped believing the answer to a happy life was going to college, working 12-hour days at a good job, with the goal of having the big house, the fancy car, and the corner office. For me, it was no longer an option to defer enjoying my life until I was 65, and my body was too tired and too frail to enjoy it. I opted for a new mindset. Retire now, live now, and enjoy my freedom and my money with passion and purpose. But my body was not aligned with that mindset. Truthfully, I never really put a whole lot of focus on my body. I dressed well, I felt good when I left the house, and was often complimented on the way that I presented myself. I'm a pretty confident woman, and it showed. Sure, there were times when it was difficult finding something to wear or when I didn't feel I looked my best, but it wasn't until just recently did I begin to feel like my weight and my health had been ignored way too long, and it was starting to take effect. I'm Liz Smoke, personal branding coach at lizsmoke.com, and this is My Detox Diary. Lately, I was finding myself avoiding all the things that made me feel fat: cameras, videos, and scales. But in a high-profile coaching business, that was increasingly difficult to do. You see, I grew up in an environment that had little to no focus on health or exercise. Growing up, I understood that if you were talented, educated, and pretty, that was all you needed to be successful. I thought I had it all figured out, though. I was running the business of my dreams, working with fabulous people around the world, and I had finally found the man of my dreams. All there was left to do was follow my bliss and live happily ever after. Problem was, happily ever after could be 40 years away, and I was afraid the only way I would get there was on my hands and knees. Truth is, my body wasn't feeling as great as my spirit. My knees crackled constantly, my back and legs felt old. I only ate when I had to. I really didn't enjoy eating, and I was left completely out of gas at 6 o'clock every night, exhausted. Now don't get me wrong, I was still very productive. My personal motivation was high. I knew I was doing God's work, inspiring others to live their dreams and free themselves of the 9 to 5. That was all good. But what if I could do more? What if I could reach more people, affect more change in the world, and actively participate in all the things my 4-year-old daughter and fiance wanted to do at night? What if I could add more fun to our time together? Playing football on the beach, rolling around in the fall leaves, water sports, skiing. I often wondered what it could feel like to be swept off my feet and spun around on my hubby's shoulder in laughter and bliss. But let's face it, I started to realize that my confidence alone wasn't turning heads like I could 10 years ago. It was time for real change. I was serious. I'd successfully helped others reinvent themselves, and it was time I helped myself to some of that same elixir. But the thought of going to a gym when everything hurt was not my idea of motivation. Cutting out carbs for the rest of my life was impossible to do because I've tried. I wanted real and sustainable change in my health and in my body. But I wasn't going to be born again with all new habits, tastes, and beliefs. I would put in the work, but I needed a system that also worked for my lifestyle. The business I teach others to create and have created for myself allows me to work whenever I want and from anywhere in the world I choose. I'd achieved ultimate freedom, but an impromptu photo or video of me on stage or with friends could quickly make me feel like a prisoner. I have a sense that you're just like me, a person who's motivated, productive, and successful, but allows those 4 pounds a year to pile on with little attention to what's happening on the inside. Maybe we've just hit the age where we start to feel it more. This is my journey through my 30-day detox, and for the next 30 days, I'm offering complete transparency about how I feel, where I started, and how easy or hard it is to do. I'm pulling back the curtain on one woman's journey to lead the best possible second act for me, my daughter, my family, and my business. I hope you stick with me, and if at any time you feel so inclined to join me, just call me up. I'll be here.